Hi there, myself Madhav Jha. I welcome you to CodeChef and let's have a look at this question.
The problem is jumping cost. The problem difficulty is easy and there are no prerequisites. Let's have a read at the problem. You have an array A of n elements. You are currently at index 1 with a balance of 0. And you can do the following jump operations as many times as you want. That is, first, we'll choose to jump from index I to index j, and index I has to be less than j. Then what we'll do is we'll add up aj minus j plus I to our balance. We need to find the maximum possible balance that we can have at any point using these jump operations. So for input format, we have t test cases, and for each test case, we have two lines. The first line contains the integer n, that is length of our array A, and the second line will contain n spaced integers, that will be the elements of our array, so A1, A2, A3 till An. As for the output, on a single line, we have to output the maximum balance that we can achieve. As for the constraints, number of test cases will go from 1 to 100, length of our array will go from 2 to 100, and the elements in array will go from -100 to 100. Let's see some sample inputs. So for the very first sample input, the array elements given to us are 5, 5, -1, 5, -1, and 1. Let's write the indices here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Since we are already standing at index 1 and our current score is 0, it means that we can never actually capture this element because we always have to jump forward. So we cannot jump to the same index. So let's say we jump to the index 2. So if we jump to index 2, what is the score that will add up? As we have seen, the score that we are going to add is element minus its index, that is 5 minus 2 plus the index where we are jumping from, so that is 1. So overall this gives us 4. So now our current score is actually 4 and the index that we are standing at is 2. Now let's see where to jump next. We don't want to jump to the next index 3 because the element here is negative. Since we want to maximize our score, it is better if we do not add negative elements. So let's move to the next one. That is the fourth index. Now if we jump here, let's see what would be the score. Again, it is 5 minus where we are jumping plus the current index. So overall, we are going to negate 2 here. So our score becomes 7. After this, jumping anywhere else will just decrease our score. Therefore, the maximum score that we can get here is 7. Let's see how we can approach the solution. Let's assume that the number of jumps that we have made are from 1 to k. And just for this example, assume that we have jumped on all the indices. Now if we have done that, what would be our result? So remember, from the first index, we do not get anything. We will jump to index 2. If we are jumping to index 2, it will be A2 minus the index that we are jumping to plus where we came from, that is 1. Now if we jump to the next from 2, it will be A3 minus 3 plus 2. Similarly, at the end, it will be A of k minus k plus k minus 1. Now if you see, the numbers are kind of repeating and we can negate them. That is, -2 will cancel out the +2, so on and so forth. And at the end, what we are going to be left with is nothing but the only number that we could not negate. That is, in this case, the the minus k and +1. So all that we have here is nothing but A2 plus A3 all the way till AK minus k plus 1. So this part here is a constant and everything else that we have seen here are just the elemental values. Now there is one more thing that we have done here. If you remember, while we were solving the sample inputs, we did not include any number that was negative because we don't want our score to decrease. So what we'll do is, as we go over all the indices, it is pretty simple that we can keep track of some of the positive elements that we have encountered till now, k being the current index that we are processing. So let's assume that if we are currently standing at index k, then what we want for all the previous elements is all of them that are positive. And then we simply add up this constant and keep track of what is the maximum value that we have achieved. And in that manner, we will get the maximum value that we can get from this jump. And that is our solution. Let's see how we can implement the solution in C++. So for each test case, we call the function solve. In solve, we take the input of n and then we take the input of our array. Since we want our array to be indexed at 1, that is where we will start taking the input from. Next up, for each index, that is, if we assume that we are processing the index k, our result is nothing but all the positive numbers that we have seen before this, right? And then we just add up what we have seen. So we subtract the current index, plus we add 1 as we have seen in the approach, and then the sum of all the previous that we have collected. We keep doing this for all the indices that we visit and keep the maximum of them. And this maximum value that we get at the end is our result. And as you can see, I have EC in C++ implementation. Let's see how we can implement this in Python. Again, for each test case, we call the function solve, take the input of n and our array. Then we go over each index as we have seen in the approach and calculate the maximum score at that point. We keep track of all these scores and whichever is the maximum, we print that at the end. And as you can see, I have EC in Python implementation as well. So I hope you understood the problem, the approach, and how we can implement the solution in both C++ and Python. Have a very good day, and I'll see you in the next video.